Good morning, welcome to my channel. I have to be kind of quiet because my son's sleeping right now. But, I'm going to be starting Cemetery Boys today. I am super excited. This is a sapphic romance, and it's also, it's between two guys who love, obviously, YA, super excited, and this has a magic vibe, and I love magic, so yes, yeah, and I picked this up because of MelReads, I think that's her name, I'll link her channel down below. This was her favorite book of 2020, so if you, I'm reading all 2020 books, so that today and tomorrow I'm going to try to read and finish Cemetery Boys. I'm going to pick this up. Then the next day I'm going to pick up the Vengeful. This one was Jade's favorite book from the Jadeyraereads. So I'm really excited for this one as well, but probably more excited for this one because this one is a sequel to my favorite book. And then we have, take a hint, Dani Brown. I don't remember whose this favorite book was, but it's on a lot of people's favorite book list, so I decided to do it. But I'll link down when I find out. I think this one was from Booktubers, but don't quote me on that. So I'll link all those Booktubers down below, of the ones that I kind of chose, because I only chose 3, and I'm super excited to start with the Cemetery Boys. So I'm going to be reading that one first. This one's only, no, 344. I can't read. Glasses aren't on. But yeah, so I'll be reading this. I'm super excited, and yeah, stay tuned for me really crying or whatever at this book. Hello, today is Today is the second day of reading favorite books, and I am on page 23. Can you get out of my book, please?
You want to be in there forever.
But you can't. You're not part of the story.
You can. Here. Let's go.
Go in the book. Go. There you go. So, this is about a guy named Hold on.
Oh, good.
You went in the wrong page.
We're on the wrong page.
Yeah. Jadeyraereads, and he is transgender, but there's this magic that these people do to collect ghosts. So yeah, and it's a little bit, there's Spanish throughout this book as well, so it does take place during the Day of the Dead and that kind of ceremony type of process.
I am alien lion. I am alien lion.
Yes. And
the alien lion went in the book.
No.
You gotta find him to get him out. Close it. Oh no, where is he?
I don't know. But yeah. So
oh, look. It was squished good.
Yeah.
Yes, squishing for real good.
So
Yes,
this
squishing for real
book
good.
is pretty good.
Hey, yes, squishing for real good.
Yeah, I am. But I kind of ruining my book. So,
Kind of ruining a book.
yep. So, yeah. So, I'll update you when I get a little further. So, yeah. But I am enjoying this book so far.
You big butt.
Hello. I am on section what? I'm on page 74 of this. This is interesting. It's about a boy whose name is what was his name? I forgot his name. No, I didn't, but I don't know how to say it. You, Yagel, and he wants to be a bourgeois. Now he is a transgender, so he is a female, but he wants to be preferred as a male. So he prefers being called a male. And this book, he ends up summoning yeah, it's kind of the wrong spirit. Like he's trying to find his friend Miguel, who died recently, and he's trying to let him pass into the heavens, or safely pass to the heavens. And he ends up summoning another boy who died violence, and that's Julian. Julian's great character. Love him so much. He talks way too much, and I love that. So yes, this one sort of reminds me of, I would say, sort of Coco a little bit, but a little bit, because this one takes place as a teenage boy, and he definitely is a teenager. Definitely a teenager. He definitely kind of wants to do stuff on his own. It's kind of like coming of age. Gives me coming of age vibes, which I love coming of age stories, and I love really coming out stories. But he's already came out, and his name is they mentioned dead naming, I guess, in this book, but it's not like there's only one section, and the mom's like, oh, I really, you always were my little girl. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like when you give birth, like literally when you're a woman and you give birth to a girl or boy, you are like, that's how you remember them. That's how you really do that. But I do think that when you are transgender, you're like, oh, I think I'm a male, or I do not actually a male, but you feel that push. And I'm not saying anything bad about transgender people around here. I do think that they need to be more representative, but I also think that if you're a woman and you use the male's bathroom and you look like a woman predominantly, you should use the women's bathroom because of just that distinction in life. I mean, we don't have non-sex or binary bathrooms. In public places, it's always female and male, so it's and I also think that also with if your body's a female, it's the development of your body when you go to the doctor and stuff. It's just that development is I've had a lot of people, but this, I mean, it's a good book, but I do think that I don't know. I just don't know what I'm talking about anyway. But I do think that like transgender, when I think about it, it just hurts my brain because I am female. I am basically bisexual, so like women and male. But I also think that, you know, I'm not judging people who are transgender because, but I just don't understand how you can be a girl and be a guy. You know, but I understand that some people do have that like pronouns. They're like, oh, I am a girl and a boy, or I am just a boy. Something. I don't know. But yeah, so this girl is a boy. She's referred to she is in this novel. Um, and there's a couple parts that I find really funny. Like I really thought that it was funny that the guy ghost was like, I'm going with her. And they're like, him. And I was like, oh my god. Like, I thought it was a boy too. Like, I was just like picturing a man, you know? But then now I'm picturing a girl. Like, I'm picturing a girl even though I'm reading it, even though it's him. You know, I'm picturing a girl. I'm not. Because, yeah. Maybe she would have short hair. Maybe she would have like longer hair. But I'm still picturing a girl because you know because even though she's transgender and different things mean different things. Like I think some transgenders they actually go through changes, like changing into a boy. Like okay, I'm going to really get that surgery. You know, I think if you're transgender, you should get the surgery. Then you're a boy. And you're not a girl. You're a boy. So it's great. You should do that. But this one, the transgender is a boy. And I do think that's a good message. I mean, it's definitely a good message not to, um, not to judge people. But yeah, I just don't get it. But anyway, so yeah, this one's really interesting. But the story of this one is really interesting. So I love the Julian, and I'm thinking that they have a relationship, Julian, and I hope not. I mean, he's a ghost, so I like those relationships. I really don't. I read 2 books with ghost representation and relationships, which is Inner Dress and Blood series, and it was weird. I think the first book I read it for because it was like so good, and then the other one I read it at 3, I think. That I don't remember what that one's called, but it was like awful, and there was like weird stuff. Anyway, so I am enjoying this. And stuff. And I guess I'll update you later too. Sorry about all that trans talk. I just get confused a little bit. I mean, I'm not transgender. I'm not on voices, so I don't know how. Like, don't know how. Like, I think the main character is just kind of nah, okay. It's okay. It's not. He's not funny yet. He's not amazing, but I love the ghost right now. Like I love the ghost, and I like his friend, but his friend is kind of, again, like a best friend. There's no romantic tension between him and her. Like there's no romantic. Like I was like reading, oh, this is my girlfriend, and it was like, oh, your girlfriend, male, and then there's a female, and yeah, so I was like, oh, so this is gonna be like this. But I was like, oh, I thought it was queer, and then I was confused, and yeah, and then it took a couple while, and then I realized, oh, he's a girl, he's not, even though he's transgender. Because, even though you're transgender, I don't think you would be like, oh, I think I am a boy or something. I don't know. This, to me, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Enough comment about that because I don't know anything about transgenders. I just have friends that are transgenders, and I do know that they usually, if they're a girl, they think themselves as a boy, or if they're a boy, they think themselves as a girl. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, so I just didn't know. I was just picturing a guy, and then I was like, whoa, my mind changed at that. That's kind of. I wish that they had said that this was a girl off the bat, so that I wouldn't be confused about stuff. But that's just the thing for me when I'm reading. I'm like, oh, this is a transgender. So I don't normally think that. Like, it just, my brain is just a weird straight line. Anyway, that's it. I wanted to update. Hello, I'm still reading Cemetery Boys. I am on page 89 now. And I really like the ghosts in this book, but I'm hoping that there's no romance between you girl and the ghost, just because I don't want that. I want the romance between him and the girl, maybe. That would be really cool. But I don't think that's gonna happen, so, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want romance, but I don't know. It is by MelReads, so I'm guessing there's gonna be romance. So. And it's not that it's a bad thing that there's romance in this, but ghost. I'm fucking falling in love with the ghost. So. Hello, I am back. I haven't really read much. I'm still on page 95. But I do want to read a little bit more today and update you on it. But I'm going to extend this readathon for like 5 days. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5. So, and each mark I will update you. Like today, I'm going to try to read all the way to chapter 10, and then I'll read all the way to chapter 15, and then to chapter 20, and even to 25. And then after that, and then I'll read like the lot of stuff. But this one is going pretty well. I don't think I love this one as well as everybody else. Like, and I mean, it's just the beginning of the book, but still, I just feel like the first person, the main character, is complaining a lot. A lot of people love the main character. And for me, I just don't love her, and I'm hoping that she doesn't form a relationship with this dude, because I don't like love ghost stories, although I did like Anna Dressed in Blood. I did like that. I didn't like the second one as much because it focused on the love part, so I'm hoping that this I still like. But I also think it's an urban fantasy, like it takes place in real life, like kind of that has that urban side, and also has blood magic in it. Although that part is really cool. I like the blood magic and stuff. I like that, but I don't know. I just don't like romance that much. I'm not a heavy romance person, so I'm hoping this is not heavy romance, but who knows? we'll get into this a little later, and I'll probably update you tomorrow. I'm reading on Tuesday, so yeah. And hello, long time no see, and today is June 25th of February. Still, it's February, and I have not quite finished this, but I've gotten to page 141, and the ghost mentioned that he is bi, which is fine, it's whatever, but I also, no, he mentioned that he was gay, not bi, but he was gay, and I'm confusing it with another thing, sorry, but the ghost in this book, Julian, is gay, and he tells the main character Jadeyraereads that, and Jadeyraereads kind of surprised, and because he definitely thinks that he's a womanizer type of person, the personality, I guess, but I don't know. And then she or he said that he's gay too, but he is a she. I'm confused. Hello, I'm going to do a quick update on this. I am on page 175 now, and we are trying, he's talked to Julian's friends, kind of figuring out what they know and if they know anybody who attacked him, and because they're realizing, or Yadro is realizing that what killed Miguel might have killed Julian, and they're trying to figure out who killed Miguel too. So this one's turning more into a mystery, who killed this person and stuff, and why, which I love mysteries, but it's in a fantasy type of setting, so obviously it's in this world, urban fantasy type, and I'm not really a huge fan of urban fantasy, and I feel like that's what is missing with me. I just don't really like urban fantasy. I also feel like the main character, Yago, I do not like him, and it's not about his race or gender. It's more of the fact that I don't know. I think he complains a lot, and I feel like if he owns up to he talks about, he complains about bringing Julian to school, and the reason behind that is because when he was a kid, in elementary school, he saw a ghost, and he didn't know she was a ghost, and then he started talking to her, and he got made fun of, and blah, 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 and he had no friends, and it was that was in elementary school. I can relate. I mean, I got made fun of in elementary school, but I'm sure everybody got made fun of. I even made fun of other people. So, in elementary school, you don't really know, or you don't. I mean, I think you do know if you're making fun of people, but I feel like you don't, you're not up there. I don't, you're not that, you wouldn't be that, smart, I don't think. But I am liking this, now that there's a mystery, and I want to know a little bit more, but, I'm also taking it slowly, because, and, because of what it is, but it's not, it's not like my favorite book. And this one was a 5-star from MelReads. And I love her channel and stuff. But I don't know if I love this book. And I don't know if at the end it's going to change or if there's going to be a romance, because I hope there's no romance in this book. I'm just hoping there's no romance. Because it's not like this person has had any, like, I love hard-hitting contemporary romance stuff or anything dealing with, I don't know, dealing with hard-hitting topics. This one doesn't really have hard-hitting, like, the main character, yes, he lost his mom, but he also has his dad who's very supportive of him, although there's one scene where he names, names him his true name or his dead name, and he doesn't appreciate that. But I honestly thought that the dad actually apologized to him, and then he ignored his dad. And I thought that I know you're dealing with stuff, but you gotta recognize that your dad is trying to talk to you and say, you know, I accept you, blah blah blah. Please accept my apology. He's not just vomiting out words. So I feel like that was kind of, I don't know, I just was like, if somebody apologized to me and said, I'm sorry that I didn't accept the fact that you were bisexual, then I would have been like, I would have taken it seriously. Like, if somebody made fun of me for being bisexual or insulted me in a way of my sexuality, then yeah, because it's basically transgender is a sexuality, I guess. So it is who you are and stuff. If somebody makes fun of who you are, then yeah. So yeah. And even though I don't really understand some of the stuff in the book, like, the main character, I just really like the ghost. And there's a lot of people who I read reviews that really like the main character but don't really like the ghost. I love the ghost in him. He is totally like on board. He has like the back, like the what do you call it? The traumatic backstory. That's what he has. And that's what I like. Like, I don't really like, I like the hard-hitting backstory where, you're dealing with all the stuff, grief, everything. You're dealing with a lot of stuff. And yes, but he's not, the main character is not, he's not grieving. He doesn't say anything about his mom and stuff like that. And it doesn't really talk about grief really, but it does talk about like it just yeah. It talks about it doesn't talk about grief, but it does. The ghost character does have really hard hitting topics because he doesn't have a family to go to. His family is his friends at school, and that's his family. Like, Julian is very like a street boy almost. And I really think that that's gonna affect him and Yazel's relationship. Whereas a ghost and what do you call it? Like a teeth, because ghost and witch, because Yazel is a witch, but but Julian's a ghost, and the Julian gets like summoned by Yazel. So they're like connected right now because they have to release Julian into the heaven and stuff. And how that's gonna play out, I hope he gets rage angry like Anna, from Anna Dressed in Blood. I hope he gets raised in Greek because I love that in Ghost. I just love that, like dark, rageful Ghost. I love that, so I hope he gets that in there. But I'm not sure. So yeah. I will update you a little bit later when I've read more. And that's it. Hello. It is 3/2 at 10:31 a.m. And I read some of this last night. I'm on page 218. And this one's really intriguing, but I feel like some of the, scenes with the school, where we're in school, because there's a lot of scenes where he's in school, I feel like they're like pointless. Like, I don't know, like it doesn't add to the story really. I mean, he goes to school. That's it. So whenever like I'm reading that part of when he's talking about school, it's fairly like boring, and I don't know. Yeah, it feels like more like a cartoon almost, and I don't really like that. Yeah, I'm getting used to the character, the being trans, but there's one thing that I don't like. That she doesn't use the male's bathroom. If you are generally I don't know about any of you trans people out there, but if you are trans, just let me know. If you're a female or male, and if you are a female, do you use the female, if you are a male, do you use the female bathroom? If you're a female, do you use the male bathroom, or do you use the one that's designated to your gender and stuff? And so he first uses his bathroom, which is really weird because he's like, I need to use the bathroom for like to get out of class, but he actually uses the bathroom. It's really weird. I was like, yeah, you're supposed to be doing something else instead of using this bathroom. Because Julian has, in this point of the story, he has, what do you call it, awoken, I guess, like his malicious nature. Like, if they become a ghost too long, they can haunt people and be mean, like, not nice. And so this one kind of does that in a way, because he's not sent to the underworld, I guess, in this lore. I did like the kind of what was it called? The story that I think their grandmother tells, which I think is really interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one's very mediocre to me, and I don't think it's because of the main character, because the main character is really good for a trans rep, I think. And if you are trans, you should definitely read it. But for me, I feel like it's a very mediocre, like mystery. There's not a lot of mystery elements in it. I love mystery, so there's not a lot of that in it. Like, they're trying to find Miguel, who got killed pretty much, well, they haven't found his body, and they haven't found his ghost yet. So he's out there somewhere. We need to figure out where he is. And we have Julian, who definitely is now turning into a malicious ghost, even though he's just awoken the night before. And now they have to figure out how to stop that. So it's just like nothing's like wrapping up, or if there's a lot of mysteries, you need to have like, you wrap up one mystery and then you go on to the next one. I mean, you kind of need to wrap them up all together. I've read mysteries like that and really enjoyed those. But This one, and I don't think it's categorized. I don't know what this is categorized as. This is definitely an urban fantasy, I think. So it takes place in the real world, but they have magic, and it definitely does the culture of, I guess, Mexican or that cuisine and the culture in a way. Um, but I also feel like this was about identity too. But I love like hard hitting contemporary identity stories. So yeah, I don't know why this is like turning into a fail, honestly. I mean, I do like the writing style, but I do think it's like cheesy. Like the main character complains a lot, which is fine, but he's like complaining way too much, and he's a witch. So it's like, yeah, like you're a witch, you know, you just need to fess up to it. And he is trying to prove himself to his family, which to me, I feel like, um, I feel like he's not really um, doing that. He's not fessing to his family at all. Um, I feel like he's kind of hiding his that he's summoned the ghost and he knows how to do that, and he's hiding everything. Like he's gonna hide Julian because he wants to find the gala. But now he's like developing like feelings for Julian, which I knew would happen because yeah, Swoon reads right here. Swoon reads, man. Yeah, it's just like why? But I did kind of, you know, thing because I don't really like ghost romance. But they're not. There's no kissing in it yet. There's no romance. There's like a development of a romance. Like they're getting to know each other. They really like each other, but they're starting to be like really close friends. But I did like Julian's explanation of his friends and how they're all like, you know, homeless or you know, different types of like, you know, not rejected. Yeah, rejected, but not like, I don't know how you explain it. Like there are people that need help from us, but they are like in more of the poorer industries have gotten like basically you know beat and got into cults or not cults what do you call games, which I think is really special. Like if you go in a game, I want more of that, like more of that like sob story. Because yeah, Julian doesn't have a sob story. He kind of does. Yeah.
What?
Huh?
What do cats eat for breakfast?
I don't know.
Mice do.
But yeah. So I don't know. It's just it's okay right now. It's doing okay right now. I just don't think all of the elements, like the elements are there, but it's not being executed very well. And that's what I say from like I don't understand some of the author's, I guess, meaning. And this is a YA book, so if you're like younger, maybe you would enjoy it better because I'm not the demographic for this book. But then again, I just don't know if this is not going to be a 5-star for me, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not even close to the end yet, but I'm getting there. Like, you know, yeah, a lot. I am getting there. So we'll see. We'll see if it gets more better and if there's more high risk. Because right now there's high risk, but nobody's taking it seriously. And there was one point where the friend of Hazel, I forgot her name. There's a teen or something. I don't know how to pronounce it, but she basically tells Yalja, you need to, drop Julian off in the cave or in the woods or in the church, and not bring him back to your house again. He can't live with you. And then the next time she's like, oh, having a ghost boyfriend would be so cool. And I'm like, what? But you just said you can't have, okay. Yeah, you can't do that. It's problematic. So yeah, I just think it's problematic. And I do think transgenders and using that is really good. So I have read some transgender characters, but this is something that is not it. Like, I don't think it's it for me. So, but I'm not going to do enough. I'm going to push through, persevere, and yeah, see if I like it more when I read one. Hello, today is the 3/5, and yes, I still haven't finished the book, but I just have a little bit left. And I got intrigued probably at chapter 23 or 24. At the end of the book, I got really intrigued and learned about the bad guy, which was none other than, spoiler alert, Angel's cousin. And it makes sense, but it's also kind of dumb. Like, he tries to literally destroy the world. But he's like trying to summon this big giant monster. You know how that happens? You summon this big giant monster, it eats you, and that's exactly what happened. It threw him into the portal and trapped him in the portal. And then Usual saves everyone, basically saves Miguel and stuff, and drains his power. So they're trying to now bring Yael back to life. We don't know if that's gonna happen. Like, I honestly was like, Julian dying was fine with me, like, cause
I forget this joke that does happen, but it was this. The driver drives and finds a what's a driver that finds a big sausage?
I don't know.
He turns to the left to find the worst.
Yeah, anyway, so it's just, and right now where I'm at, we're kind of figuring out how not doing, but how Yael is going to live and survive, because he's dead. But he's breathing, but he's, almost dead. And I really, I don't know if this deserves it. I mean, most of the book is just about school and not really about the mystery. And I kind of wish the mystery was more, it was like, I kind of feel like the mystery, like, who is capturing these kids, like, I felt like the uncle is kind of like, oh yeah, he's the outcast, he would do it. But to be honest, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like, what do you call it? Not relatable, but it's kind of underwhelming, really, because I was like, oh yeah, and then he's trying to, do something like with Percy Jackson, but Percy Jackson was really fun, and then it had like the actual myth and played it out, and then like obviously there's this big guy and stuff like that. But this one had like one myth in it, one myth in it, like one story. We didn't really get that much culture diversion, I think, in this book. And yeah, I hate to say this, y'all, but I wouldn't really pick up this book at all, because if you're an adult, now if you're like a person who, I guess, YA or a younger age, 13 maybe, pick this book up, because I think it would really, definitely do something. And also if you're transgender, I think transgender people should read this, but I don't think it's like really high up. Like, I wouldn't like say this is the best book I've read, because it's not. It's probably like a 3 or a 3.5 for me, because I feel like the ending or the end, good. It's just really good. It's really well done, and I really liked the kind of figuring out the mystery finally. I find, it's just like took forever, and it was very disjointed. The book was very disjointed, and I would probably give this a 3 stars. Not gonna keep it on my shelf, because I'm not gonna reread this motherfucker. I mean, sorry, but I'm not gonna read this. And I feel like also the characters are very one-dimensional. Even the main character, Yazel, is very one-dimensional. I just don't like that. Like, I need really good development of the characters, and I need really good, like, I guess, really, really good, of the story. I need it to be really, really good and really coherent too. It was all over the place. I wanted it to be a romance, which it wasn't a romance. I kid you. There's no kissing in this book. Not yet. I mean, I haven't completed it. I still have like a sliver like this, which is just a sliver. So yeah, I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know how. I just don't like it. I really don't. Sometimes you don't love any books that you read. I hate myself. Anyway, I finished Cemetery Boys. By Aiden Thomas. And this really wasn't that good for me. I think it's because of the main character, Yazel, which I don't know which one it is. No, it's probably him, because he has names with him. But, and, but yeah, it was just like, I think it was like the main character. It kind of, took you out of the story with the school settings, I think. I really want to learn more about the culture and, I guess, more mythology of the story, or the culture and mythology, but it really didn't compute. Like, the culture didn't really like come through. They did talk about food though, so if you're hungry, read this book again, because it does talk about a lot of good food. But other than that, it was like, it just kind of felt off to me. I felt like it was combining so many genres. So we have mystery. There's a mystery of one of the bruises that go missing, and the other children that go missing. There's also the kind of a romance between him, or Yazel, and Julian. There's a romance between them. And then there's component of fantasy as well, which to me, I felt this was like more like urban fantasy or paranormal fantasy, where the main character is in love with a ghost or, you know, uh, paranormal creature, so vampire, werewolf, that kind of stuff. But this one's more with a ghost, and it does deal with a little bit of fantasy stuff, but it doesn't really like go into like how you, I guess, use blood magic. Like there's off the page they talk about using blood magic, or they do blood magic, but then when you're reading it, there's not really a lot of blood magic in here. This one is, I really enjoyed the not age-old, but Julian's story, and about his dad, and about, I really wanted more from that, like I wanted more, sob type stories, because they love kind of sad, kind of, not depression, but really sad stories where you really feel for the character and stuff. So I feel like it didn't really like go that emotional. It didn't get that sad, and I also felt like the main character, Yadeyraereads.
Mommy.
Okay. Yeah, did that again. She was pressing it. Click some. I don't know why I did that. But yeah. So I really did not like this. I gave it a 2.5 or 3 stars. Because I feel like the characters weren't all fleshed out. Like Angel wasn't fleshed out. He complained a whole lot and annoying me, like to the point of no return. And I definitely don't DNF, so I'm glad I read it though. I do see potential in this novel, because at the end they kind of really focus on Yato is kind of coming out more, but I feel like it's not coming out story. Coming out story, because I've read so many of those and I love them so much. Like I just feel like there's so many better coming out books that kind of represent the gay community and kind of what they feel. And this one, what the writing style was kind of younger, I guess. Like, I felt like the writing style was way younger for the audience that this is for, which is YA, people who are probably in their 13 to, I don't know, 19 age range. And I also felt like some of the not only did I felt like the plot was convoluted and obviously confusing too, because they never like, when they had the mystery in the beginning, they had the mystery, and then they never like continued with that. And I was the most excited about the mystery, because there's lots of mysteries. And they really focused on the romance, which, if you don't like romance, then yeah, you probably shouldn't pick this up. But even if I was a romance person, I feel like it wouldn't satisfy that either, because they only kiss 2 times, and that's at the end. Like, I'm just like, why? Why do you have to do that, where we're like with these characters for so long, and it's like random stuff too, because Angel doesn't really like him at first, but it's not like they have more of a friendship, I feel like. And then a romance interest, even when they kiss. I just feel like it's more of a friendship dynamic. And yes. So this book definitely, yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's just I just know that the plot wasn't really, it could have been longer and more, I guess, more intrigued, more, like, I guess, talked about. I don't know, not talked about, but like, I guess they could have made more connections to who was the culprit. I was kind of surprised, but I also wasn't. I was just like, oh, this kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. And I also wasn't really like, when the mystery ended and there's this big battle type thing that went fast. The battles went fast, super fast, and I kind of wanted to slow down the battles. I like to, have that struggle. You have to have that struggle. And even with TV shows, you have to have that struggle. You have to have that. And I feel like this is more of a paranormal romance book, because it didn't really have, it wasn't really high struggle, or it wasn't really high stakes. That's what I'm looking for. So so even though Hazel becomes this godlike figure in the end, it's just like, to me, I'm like, no, no. So yeah, it wasn't that believable as well. So yeah, I rated this one a 2.6. If you are interested, this is out now in bookstores, and yeah, if you want to read it, about just to see if your representation is out there. This is for trans rep and gay people, I guess. Let's have that rep, and yeah. So yeah, and I hope you have a nice rest of the day. Bye.